everybody. My topic is oil nationalism in Venezuela. Okay, oil nationalism and political mobilization between the time period of 1936 and 1940s. Okay, in Venezuela, going to talk about how labor unrest helped transformed oil into the symbol of national power and identity. Both of these pictures are oil plants in Venezuela. I just like this one because it's dark gray and white, and then this one is just like a great symbol, I believe. Okay, who should control the nation's most valuable resource? Okay, so in 1930s, Venezuela faced a critical question: who should control its oil? The foreign companies extracting it, or should it be the Venezuela people that are working it? Okay, at the time, foreign corporations dominated in the oil industry, while many Venezuelan workers faced low wages and poor conditions. What started as protest quickly turned and grew into something bigger, which was a national movement. In this picture, you see Venezuelan people working at the oil plants. My argument is between 1936 and 1940, labor unrest, the middle class activism in Venezuela fueled the rise of oil nationalism, that the movements pushed the government to expand control over oil resources, eventually leading to the 1943 hydrocarbon laws. Another picture. Okay. So, the reports of the oil strikes are 1936 to 1937. The strikes were led by oil workers demanding better wages, improving working conditions, and the right to organize. What's important is that these demands weren't just economic, they were political. Workers began to argue that foreign control was also limiting Venezuela's development. This shows how labor unrest helped turn oil into a national issue, not just as a workplace issue. This picture, you see the Venezuelan people unified together, protesting, wanting to have a better life, like better wages, improved working conditions, all of that. What the government's response was: this picture is their lovely president Elizar Lopez Contera. Okay, and his response to it all was proposing gradual reforms like adjusting wages and increasing oversight of the oil companies. Instead of immediate nationalization, he tried to balance nationalism and economic stability. This shows that the government didn't ignore oil nationalism, it reshaped it into controlled institutional reform. So, early regulation, a balanced reform for an investment, all of that. Hydrocarbon laws. So, increased state control, higher taxes on the oil companies, and it became a turning point. The law increased state control over oil concession and revenue. Which makes this significant is that it wasn't just sudden, it was a result of years of protests, debate, and reform. It shows how grassroots activism can lead to long term structural change for the better. A big picture, okay? Look at that. Boom. This movement it wasn't just isolated. Mexico had already nationalized its oil industry in 1938, showing that resource control was possible. At the same time, World War II distracted major global powers, giving Venezuela more room to act. This shows that this shows that oil nationalism was both a local and global phenomenon, that it was happening worldwide. Okay, oil in Mexico, World War II, distracted, and then global nationalism. It wasn't just in Venezuela. Oil nationalism in Venezuela transformed labor protests into broader political movement centered on sovereignty and national identity. The legacy still matters today because oil remains as a central part of Venezuela's economy and politics. The debate of who controls the oil still continues, and I'm sure it'll continue from years on now and decades. What began in 1930s didn't just change policy, it shaped how the nation understands power, resources, and independence. Ultimately, this history shows that control over natural resources isn't just economic, it's deeply political and still relevant in the modern world years and years to go. Thank you.